Hey, I'm Chris, and this is the Curbly.com video podcast. So it's my niece's third birthday, and she's going to get her first big girl room. And this is her dresser. This was my dad's from the 60s, and my parents used it in their first home together, and my sister used it in college. And it's in fine structural shape, but doesn't exactly scream 3-year-old girl. So as a birthday present, we're going to give it a facelift and make it child safe. So the first thing I noticed is the dresser doesn't have traditional mechanical slides, it just has these weird plastic things in the corner. And 9 out of 10 of them are broken off, and it makes the drawers do one of those kind of things. So that's something that I'm definitely going to want to fix. I also noticed that most of these center drawer supports have become loose, and there's actually nails sticking out of those, and I'm not in love with the idea of 3-year-old fingers being anywhere around sharp nails, so we'll need to replace them. I've pulled off all the problematic pieces, and now it's time to prepare the surface to accept the paint. We're going to start with 150 grit sandpaper and finish with a 220. Whenever you're doing large quantities of sanding, you have to wear a dust mask, safety glasses, and a dust mask. Or if you've got one of these. So I sanded the dresser down until all the shine in the wood was gone and replaced all the problematic parts. I replaced those plastic drawer slides with pieces of 1/4-inch hardboard. And I rebuilt the center supports out of poplar. First, I cut them to length, then I cut out the notches on the table saw, and lastly, I attached them to the dresser with glue and nails. Now it's time to wipe down the whole dresser with a tack cloth to remove any fine dust and then give the whole thing a coat of latex primer. This stuff has a really strong odor, so make sure you work in a well-ventilated area. After the primer had dried, I rolled on a first coat of white paint. I chose a semi-gloss finish to aid in durability. Then I sanded the whole thing down with 220 grit sandpaper. I wiped it clean and then applied a second coat of white paint and another round of sanding. And lastly, I finished with a third coat of paint. Then I repeated the process on the insides of the drawers with a little bit of springtime bloom. I also wanted to make the drawer fronts a little more interesting and 3-year-old-ish, so I decided to use gift wrap. Simply cut the paper to size and spread a thin layer of Mod Podge on the drawer front. You can also use watered down white glue. Then, carefully lay down the paper, cover with a couple more coats of the glue, and allow it to dry. And we're almost done. All that's left is to apply a couple coats of polyurethane to protect it from, grimy little 3-year-old fingers, and then screw on these basic white acrylic knobs we can get at the hardware store for like $1, and then pack it up and take it back to my niece for her birthday.